The goal? Simple. Save money, waste less food, and use up this before anything really expires.
Expired.
If you enjoy cooking videos, get a drink that you made yourself at home, because we're all about the saving cash around here. Sit back, relax, hit the thumbs up button.
What does the button do? Press it for glory!
Let's get cooking. I'm starting with the easy stuff, and a pantry clean out does in fact include freezer stuff. So I'm going to pull out some baked good things and go ahead and use them. So I'm starting with this guy. Cinnamon rolls, who doesn't love that? I'm also thinking it's a great time to pull out the baking mixes. I think I have one, like I've used this already, but I think I can finish this and get it out of here. Is it too much if I also grab this and make these blondies? I do like to buy things on clearance. I think I'm gonna make these blondies and get these out of here as well. Step one, make all the goodies. This is just your friendly reminder to go through your fridge and freezer. Nope, this is your friendly reminder to go through your pantry and freezer. And if you have any baking mixes, let's use them up. They're already sitting there. This will make a nice like after school snack. Blech. The cinnamon rolls and muffins will go well with breakfast. Wow, those smell sweet. Holy smokes. 2 eggs. 2 tablespoons of water. That's a weird amount of water. And a half a cup and 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. Ooh, and that container is gone. Rating on the blondies, I'm gonna give it a pass, you guys. If you see these at the store, these like protein blondies, they were not a win in my family, so I will not be buying these again. Okay, I have 2 cups of the mix, which was the rest of it. Brown sugar, 1 egg. I have 3/4 of a cup of miak. Blah. It said melted butter. I'm not quite there. Is that good enough? Yeah, probably. And I need a half a cup of pumpkin puree. I personally love to meal prep muffins when I have a few extra minutes, like on the weekend, a Saturday or a Sunday, or the night before, and I want to do muffins for the next day. They always go over well with my family. These in particular were a huge win. These pumpkin muffins, oh my gosh, the boys were fighting over these. The cinnamon rolls turned out beautiful. They always do. Who does not love a cinnamon roll? And also my husband says raisins are good in these. What? Huge thanks to Element for sponsoring today's video. Element is a 0 sugar electrolyte drink that's been coming in clutch for me, and especially on days/weeks like this where I am in the kitchen moving around and trying not to run on caffeine and expired snacks alone. Wait, what's that? What if you want caffeine in your 0 sugar electrolyte drink? Guess what? Element has already dropped lemonade iced tea with 50 milligrams of caffeine. Booyah. You know what I love about Element? Okay, a lot of things, but also they listen to their audience. And when we said, give us the energy, they said, heard chef, we'll bring it. Have you ever pushed caffeine too hard and crashed later? Have you ever mainlined caffeine and then the next day ended up with caffeine withdrawal headaches? Yeah, samesies. So what I like about the lemonade iced tea is that it's only 50 milligrams of caffeine. It's enough to give you that boost, but not so much that you end up hating life a little bit later. Caffeine actually doesn't give you energy, it just blocks the feeling of being tired. So exhaustion is like still building underneath you. You just don't notice it until you really notice it. By ingesting less caffeine, but making sure you have your electrolytes in you, Element is delivering everything your body needs and nothing of what it doesn't need. The Element Lemonade Iced Tea uses a full black tea extract, not isolated caffeine, plus a good old dose of those electrolytes. Free of sugar, free of artificial colors, no dodgy ingredients at all. Here's something I love about Element. If you don't like it for whatever reason, you can tell them you don't like it. They're gonna give you your money back. You don't even have to send the product back, just give it to a friend. That's how confident they are that you will like it. And as always, if you wanna try out Element, you can get a free sample pack with any purchase on their website. It's drinkelement.com/frugalfitmom. And I have seen Element at like Walmart and Target, and maybe I have seen it at Sam's Club. I have definitely seen it at some gas stations, but you don't get the free sample pack if you buy it from there. So use my link, get the free 8-count sample pack. You won't regret it. I'm trying to figure out what to make for dinner tonight, and I'm determined to use these refried beans. And so I'm thinking, what if I made taco soup? It's not something I make a lot. It's It's like chili, but taco flavored instead of chili flavored. So I asked my son if he preferred taco soup or chili, and he said chili. So that's what we're doing. I'm just gonna dig through the freezers and see what I already have available to use. So I definitely saw these tomatoes, we'll grab these. In the fridge, we're gonna grab that. These jalapenos, that's gonna be so good. Maybe we'll do all of them. Is that too many? I don't think so.
I'm not scared.
Definitely need some onions. Couple of peppers, maybe one. Definitely need more tomatoes and more beans, so let's run to the downstairs freezer. I know I have tomato sauce down there. Ooh, I should bring this upstairs and maybe some ice cream. Okay, I have black beans. That's delicious, I love that. Haha, tomato sauce. Let's grab these. Maybe this whole thing, we'll do a black bean chili, that's what we'll do. Those are already cooked. I'm gonna call this lazy chili because after browning the meat, I'm just dumping everything in. So this is about 1.5 pounds. I'm not oiling my pan because there's a good amount of fat in this. So I'm hoping that will render out and I won't need any. Brown your meat until it's brown and then it's not raw anymore.
Stating the obvious, but thank you.
Time to add everything else. All of my veg. I have celery, jalapeno, bell pepper, onions, all going in right now. All of my frozen tomato sauce and whole tomatoes, they're all going in right now too. They're still a little frozen. They'll be fine. If it's not soupy enough, I can add canned tomatoes, but I'm gonna wait and see on that one. Here come my refried beans. Those are going in. This is probably 5 cups of black beans. Whoops, going in right now. In my freezer, I have a bunch of chipotles and adobo. I find these can get very hot, so I froze them in ice cube tray size. So I'm doing 1 ice cube tray, whoops, in it goes. At this point, it doesn't taste like anything, so it's time to add the chili part. Some Worcestershire sauce. I'm eyeballing it, but I don't know, 2 tablespoons or so. I have this garlic powder packet. We'll use this up, throw this in here. Some Tabasco. Any hot sauce you want is fine here, but I grew up with Tabasco. So always kind of keep it around. Maybe a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half. Now the chili powder. I use a lot of chili powder. I'm beginning with a 1/4 cup. That's a whole 1/4 cup. In it goes. And that one's gone, but don't worry, I buy it in bulk. Just because I use so much. My mom always puts sugar in the chili, so I will do the same. That's about 2 tablespoons. It's gonna be pretty spicy with the chipotles and the jalapenos, and I like a subtle sweetness on the back end of spicy. That's my preference, so I like to do that. Definitely need some salt. I'll start with, let's go with like 2 teaspoons of salt because I haven't salted anything. Like the tomatoes were not store canned, they were garden tomatoes with nothing added. The beans were not store canned beans. They were dried beans that I cooked with no salt added. So there's no salt in this yet. I'll bring it to a simmer and let it simmer for at least 30 minutes. I definitely want all these veggies soft. I don't want any crunchy onions. And it doesn't look dark enough for me. So I'm gonna go with more chili powder. Maybe 1 more tablespoon. That's a little bit better. Okay, simmer for 30-ish minutes and then we will come back and take a look and probably taste. Okay, it ended up being way too thick. So I just added 1 can of Rotel with an additional can of water, the whole thing. And I'm liking this texture a whole lot better. But if I look at my onions, they're still pretty, and my celery too, it's still pretty pale, like pretty white, not translucent like I want. So I'm gonna make sure I'm on a low simmer and lid back on. I'm gonna go another 15 minutes. Items I wanted to get rid of today. I have a little bit of this Alouette cheese, a couple of Boursin, and in my freezer, oh look, clearanced out sausage. So I figured, why not sort of recreate a favorite of mine when I was a kid? My mom would make pasta with a tomato sauce with Louisiana sausage cut up in it. Now, I don't have Louisiana sausage, but I have this sausage. So it's reminiscent of that. This one is a spicy marinara, which my older son doesn't really love spicy. So we're gonna tone it down with some cheeses, also make it a little more herby. It's like the easiest dinner possible. Boil this, all this goes into a pot for the sauce. That's literally it. And what's crazy is my boys will be like, this is the best dinner you ever made. What are you gonna do? Okay, I heated up my sausage a little bit. In comes the sauce. And in comes my cheese. 1, 2. So I just have to heat this through and add it to my pasta and we're done. Stir until it doesn't need stirring anymore. All right, that looks pretty good. So we'll scoop out some for my son right now. Just gonna eat a little bit before he goes to gymnastics. He's bumping up to a level 10 for next year. So he needs his energy. I love a stir fry, and I found some of these online. These are very hard to find where I live, and they're very expensive. But I ordered some online, so I have some stir fry noodles, some ground pork, which I really like in a stir fry, a couple of bell peppers. I've got my big slaw. I love slaw in a stir fry also. I'm making a quick sauce. I have some cornstarch and like an Asian chili garlic powder seasoning. And I'm adding just cold water for the cornstarch. I don't know how much water I want yet. I can add more later. I just want the cornstarch to be completely dissolved, and then when you boil the cornstarch water slurry or mixture, it will thicken up in the pan, so. And then I also have some Thai sweet chili sauce that I'm gonna be adding. And I might do like a veggie broth concentrate with some miso, chopped up my peppers. These are gonna take longer to cook than the slaw, so I will add these to the meat earlier. At this point, I will add my bell peppers just because I want to give them a few minutes to cook before I add everything else. So I'm gonna let this go for 5 minutes and we'll add the rest. Well, I flung a bell pepper out of the pan and onto the stove. So I think we're at the point where we add our sauce. That's going, oh, it's separated a little bit. It's fine. I think I need more water in here to get this sauce loosened up. There, I just don't want it to stick to the pan or anything. Okay. I'm gonna cook this together for about 5 to 7 minutes until my slaw kind of cooks down, my sauce thickens up, and we'll add the rest of our flavors. Okay, here comes the veggie concentrate. I have about a half a cup of sweet Thai chili sauce I'm stirring in, and there's my overboard pepper. Over here I have some water coming up to a boil because I want to just heat up and loosen up my noodles before I toss them in here. This dish was so delicious. Every time I make this noodle-esque dish with like a stir fry situation, my family just goes crazy for it. Today's dinner is starting from some ground chicken I had in the freezer. I always have tortillas hanging around and these giant bags of coleslaw I got from the Sammy. So we're gonna do chicken fajita taco combo or something like that. Okay, about 1.5 pounds of ground chicken, and I would say a full tablespoon of fajita seasoning, whatever your favorite one is, and handy dandy meat masher coming in for the win. 2 green onions, and cook until it's not raw anymore.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Okay, my chicken is now cooked. Adding my 2 rustically chopped tomatoes, and I'm gonna try and make kind of like a saucy situation with this. And some chicken broth concentrate. I have these packets, but you could also use better than bouillon and then don't dilute it, would also work. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit because I want the tomatoes to break down a hair. And then this will be our filling. And I will taste for salt kind of at the end, but the fajita seasoning has salt, the chicken bouillon has salt, so I don't want to go too heavy. Okay, so while this kind of breaks down, we will make our coleslaw topping. So I just have jalapeno ranch, just a regular salad dressing in here. And I'm gonna squeeze into here 1 lime to thin it out a little bit and cut through the richness of the buttermilk of ranch. Okay, quick stir on that. I said in my last grocery haul, I just love buying these huge things of coleslaw. I use them all the time. And then this whole bag is $1.97 at my Sam's Club for 2 pounds. And I don't have to chop any cabbage, which I love for me. Okay, so I have my slaw right there. A little bit of shredded cheese. You don't have to grate this yourself. You can buy pre-shredded tortillas and my meat. Booyah. Dinner. So I made a little bit of a dent, but could I keep doing this and save a little bit more money? Yeah, probably. So if your grocery bill keeps creeping up, do what I did and check out your pantry and try and make some meals off of what's already here and hopefully save a couple $100s this week. Thanks for hanging out and cooking with me. I'll see you next time. But wait, there's more. Hey guys, do you want to come with me today? Well, I climbed on my bike 3,000 feet. I already started, so I promise I work out. 3,000 feet of climbing today on my bike. That would be approximately 1,000 meters for my metric friends. Dropped the dog off at a grooming appointment, just trying to make good use of my time. Have a bunch of water and a bunch of candy in my back pocket, so we'll see how it all shakes down. Currently listening to the Maine. Hello, cows. Oh, the babies are so cute. We have hit the 1,100 feet elevation mark. It's like 12:45 in the afternoon. It's toasty. Also, have you ever seen one of these windmills like in person, really up close? You don't realize how big they are until you're like right underneath it. So I'm gonna get a little water break, refocus. I'm not hungry yet. I have not hit an hour. It's been about 35 minutes. I drank a ton and had a bagel with cookie butter on it before I started. So I'm feeling very full and not hungry. I'll check in again at the 2,000 mark. 2,140 feet. I'm at the turnaround mark. I told myself I would turn around at an hour and a half. That was way more miles for the second thousand-ish feet. It was very rolly. I'm hoping I can rip this part back pretty quick, less than an hour, hopefully. Currently listening to Mariana's Trench. There's two things you need to know about me. I grip it and I rip it. Oh my gosh. Heavens to Betsy, we did it. There's a reason I always wear a hat. It's because I've got helmet hair a lot of the time. What do you say we go get the dog? How is your haircut? Look at the camera. We'll see you on the flip-flop.